Okay, so let me tell you what I experienced this morning. So I was sipping this coffee, and I'm drinking Pilon coffee, and it's like I don't have anything in it. It's just black and bold. And I was outside. And I was like, as soon as I went outside and I was sipping this coffee, this really strong coffee, it's like I literally felt oxygen or felt something move like right here. And I felt like it moved my eyebrows to the center. And there's something about symmetry, right? It was like my whole face was making perfect symmetry. And it was like that alignment moment that I talk about in another video. But I felt like it wasn't just alignment in my body. I mean, it was like alignment everywhere, because what I find super attractive is, I mean, obviously, like, it's perfect science that, like, we see people with perfect symmetry in their face and we're just like, oh, that's super attractive. Like, this is what we find attractive. It makes total sense. And, like, I love animals because they always have, like, this, you know what I mean? Like, they don't smile. They just have, like, this perfect alignment. They're in the moment at all times. And, like, what came to mind, you know, I've been thinking about this for a while, so I should share it, was that I took a vacation to St. Lucia, like, a couple years ago. And I remember going through one of their botanical gardens. And in the botanical garden, there was a, get some of the sunlight here. There's something about light distribution that I really care about. And, like, I remember going to this botanical garden, and in this botanical garden, there was a cocoa plant. And the cocoa plant, from what I understand, is like where they make chocolate and they make coffee and stuff like that. Well, the way it looks when it grows on the tree is like, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that, all right? It like comes in a sheath. It looks like a fruit or something like that. I guess like a potato on a tree, sort of, but different. I guess you'd have to Google search it or whatever. But it's like not exactly what you think it would be. They're like really big things, right? And I remember seeing like a bunch that were like on the ground, and it was like all open and they were all empty and stuff. And I was like, oh, where, you know, I was like asking the people there, I was like, you know, what's with the cocoa beans? Are there any there? Like, I really wanted to like grab one and take one with me. And they were like, oh yeah, you know, the animals eat them right away. Like, the animals usually eat them right away before we even get to it. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting. You know, I didn't know the animals drink. I know the animals eat, like, coffee. And I was like, that's interesting, because we as humans, we love coffee. I mean, I don't know if everyone loves coffee, but I know I love coffee. And, like, whenever I go to institutions like Starbucks or, you know, well, yeah, I'm just going to say Starbucks, because it's like something about super duper strong coffee, like black and bold coffee. And like whenever I like, you know, I like the people watching stuff, and when I see people with like, you know, it's like that serious, like, in the moment symmetry face, and I'm super attracted to that. And it's like the same thing that animals have, is that super symmetry. So it's like I make this connection immediately. And I didn't realize that animals ate that. And I was like, well, that's really cool, because we really like coffee. And I'm like, I think we have more animal instincts than we're willing to admit. And it makes sense, because we're like a subcategory or a category of animals. I mean, we are animals, you know what I mean? We're just categorized as humans. And so I'm looking outside. Oh, man. So, you know, I'm just going to show you real quick what it looks like outside right now. See here. I don't know, it's really pretty, isn't it? It's really, really pretty. So anyways, I have my two kittens right here. Let me show you my kittens. So, that's Valentino. Whoa, hi Valentino. And that right there, that's Colby. Oh, Colby Cans. Alright, what are you doing now? That's Coleman. Okay, and the two boys, same litter, they're brothers. And like, I always watch these two kittens, and like, in the morning they're like, they're right up on the window, and they just watch the sunrise. And I do the same thing. And so anyways, I'm outside, and I'm like, I'm checking out the sun, And it's like, I'm talking about this, right? And I know I talk about pooping solutions, but like, I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of truth in these pooping solutions, because I'm outside and I'm looking at the sunrise, and I'm like talking out loud about what I'm talking about right now. And as I'm talking, I'm feeling it move through me and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, like I know what the truth feels like. That's what the truth to me feels like, is like moving the frequencies of the day before through your body by enjoying the frequencies of the immediate daylight, like of the immediate next day. Like literally you take in, at least this is what I believe, is that you are taking in these new frequencies of the next day to move older frequencies through your system, and it's preparing you for the next frequency, like the next dimension, something that's what I feel intuitively in my body, and that's the best way I can explain it through science. And I think it's interesting because the cats do the same thing. The cats are immediately, bam, like bam, they watch the sun, they lay in the sun, you know. Animals, like my animals do this, and I do the same things, and it moves these frequencies through me. Like there's something about the sun, and there's something about talking the truth that moves frequencies through your own frequency. And I was talking about, okay, and then I was making correlations to the atmosphere, the weather, the temperature, through cleaning your system out and accepting frequencies, and like talking the truth to yourself and to people. And I was like, and also like coffee, like there's something about coffee. And I thought about like what would be the most comfortable temperatures, and I think about the middle of the earth. And I think about like what would be like the greatest like the most comfortable temperature that could possibly be created. And I'm like, well, I picture like a perfect temperature, like something that isn't like overheating and not super cold. And like I think about tropical weather, right? I think about tropical weather. I think about the ocean being next to you. I think about yeah, because you'd have like trees there that like produce fruit. Because when I was in St. Lucia, it was like, there was like a couple locals that I hung out with at the time, and like it was so cool. They were like, yeah, we just go outside and we eat mangoes until we're full, and then we ride around on these horses that we have here, and it's like they eat off the land. They like the coldest weather they have is like 80 or 85, and I'm like, that's awesome, but it doesn't feel cold. It's like a perfect temperature. Like even when it rains, it feels really good there. It's beautiful. And I'm like, there's something about creating that reality in your current reality by like accepting what the animals do and accepting your own like intuition of that symmetry. And it's like the animal, it's like those fruits, the fruits and the coffee beans and the animals. It's like things move through the system so easily that everybody's all relaxed. Like everybody's all relaxed in that atmosphere. And not only do you see it in what the animals are doing with the fruits and the cocoa beans, but you see it in the temperature and the people and the weather. I mean, everything is perfectly aligned. Like I go there and I feel so comfortable because you could literally live off the land. And you don't have to plant, you don't have to do anything. It just simply grows there. And so as soon as I started talking about that, it was like that, ooh, whoa, you know what I mean? Like that, whoa, truth. And then I was like, oh, bam, I gotta go to the bathroom now, And it's like whenever I feel that, because like when I wake up, I'm like so hyper. I'm so hyper, like physically, that I can't even relax. You know what I mean? I have like so much energy on the inside. But when I have coffee and I go outside and I smoke a cigarette and I enjoy the sunrise and the frequencies, and I just start talking my mind pockets outside, the truth starts moving through me. So like when I feel a big truth move through me, I'm like, I gotta share this immediately, because that's what the truth feels like. The truth feels like it moves through you, like the spirit, it moves through you. You know what I mean? So that's what it feels like to me, and I really had to share that because I think there's something about those elements and like trusting that the animals are also using the same elements that literally create, like it's like the ancients, they hear you and they feel you and they understand and they can see that you understand, and there's something about that connection with like the ancients and you and respecting the animals and what they do that like totally align you to the truth. And then it's like you literally, they allow that to be created in your reality. At least that's what I feel intuitively, because I say we create our own reality, but at the same time I think there's a sort of respect that goes along with it, knowing that bigger people move things around so that you can experience that beautiful reality in your immediate moment, in your immediate realm. So I guess that's all I wanted to share about like black and bold coffee. You know, there's something about that that aligns your whole system. I mean, animals, they don't add like cream and sugar and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not saying that they don't enjoy sugarcane, because there's actually, you know, I saw like a couple locals there that would like walk around with these sticks, right? These sticks, and they're chewing on them, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? They're like, oh yeah, that's pure sugarcane. I'm like, what the heck? That's awesome. So you know what? Maybe the animals do eat sugarcane too, you know? I think about all the things that we love the most is like sugar and coffee and like, you know, all this stuff that I'm like, well, nature produces it, you know what I mean? Like, of course we like it. Like, of course we like these things a lot. It only makes perfect sense that we would, because the earth creates it, and the animals enjoy it right along with us, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think there's a huge truth in that, because it really it moves through me, you know? Alright, so that's all I have to share for now. Thanks for watching.